Is it John Szabo, City Librarian, ladies and gentlemen, right here before the opening of the Central Library of the City of Los Angeles here in downtown LA. John Szabo, ladies and gentlemen. This is the City Librarian.
It's an absolutely fabulous job. I absolutely love libraries. Every job I've had has been in a library, except one, when I was a part-time announcer on public radio. We are not in Los Angeles a cookie-cutter public library system. Every single one of our branches are all different, and all of our libraries as well are Wi-Fi hotspots. And you know, public libraries today are more relevant than they've ever been. So I was born in Orlando. My father was an Air Force officer. We moved to Germany, lived all over, but did most of my growing up in Montgomery, Alabama.
And when did you wake up one day and say, oh, I want to be a librarian?
So started working in libraries when I was 16, and then decided that I really wanted to make it a career. I went to the University of Michigan. My first job out of graduate school was as a very young, why they hired me to be a library director at that age, I don't know, but a young library director in my early 20s in southern Illinois in the middle of soybeans and corn. Went
back to Florida.
Back to Florida in the Tampa Bay area, and was a director there of 2 libraries, and then went to Atlanta and was director of the wonderful public libraries of Atlanta and Fulton County for 7 years. And then they did a national search for a new city librarian in Los Angeles, and I had the good fortune of being selected and have been here going on 5 years now. And love it. I love LA.
But now you need to stay. Stop moving around.
When I talk about the public library having a role to play in public health, when I talk about the public library having a role to play in immigrant integration, LA says yes. LA gets it, and I love that. Her story in our first floor gallery is a great example of the library being a storyteller. 5,500 plus people a day come through this building. This is yet another experience that they'll enjoy when they come to the Central Library. And many will come to see this exhibit, and then will discover that you can take your first step on the path to citizenship at the Los Angeles Public Library. And bring your child to a Spanish language story time. An adult can learn to read. There's an English language conversation class. You can take a docent tour of the library. You can explore our photo collection. We're always looking for opportunities to enhance people's experience when they come to the Central Library.
Books invite all, they constrain none. Say it for us, because I kind of screwed it up.
Yes,
in the right cadence?
Yes, so books invite all, they constrain none. We invite everyone, regardless of whether you're documented or undocumented, regardless of whether you're poor or rich, regardless of whether you have a home or not. Every day, every morning, the library reaches out its arms here and through 3 other entrances in the building, welcomes everyone. The theme is light of learning. You'll see a torch with a hand on it, the light of learning on top. And this is a wonderful carving or frieze here at the Hope Street entrance by the great sculptor from the 1920s, Lee Lawry. And interestingly, on the very far right is a carving, is a gentleman seated at a desk, much like Alfred Hitchcock placing himself in a film. It is Bertram Goodhue, the architect for this Central Library. And there are 562 other stories just like that around this building. So we're on the 2nd floor of the Central Library now. This is the Grand Rotunda in the 1926 building. The 2-ton chandelier with the globe and the signs of the zodiac on the interior, all the planets of the solar system on the chains going up to the sunburst on the ceiling of the dome. And then directly above the dome is the library tower, which you can see from many photographs of beautiful downtown Los Angeles and the skyline. And then at the very top, of course, is the mosaic tile pyramid with the 4 sunbursts on each side. We took the opportunity to restore the murals, actually completed in 1933. They were done by Dean Cornwell, who was the most famous muralist in the world at that time. And they tell the story, the history of California, mission building, not in the same manner that we would tell that story today, but nevertheless beautiful murals and ones that we're incredibly proud of.
I have to lie down and take a picture.
Oh, you do know there are 48 lights in the chandelier representing the 48 states in the Union when the building opened.
So, John, we have some young Angelinos behind us. Tell us what's happening here.
So this is every day. This happens every single day. It's visits from classes, visits from local elementary schools, preschools, coming through the library, not only seeing the wonders of this building, but the great collections. Oh, look at where they're going. They're going into the children's literature department. We have the most talented children's librarians anywhere, and it is a beautiful space, perhaps one of the most beautiful spaces at the Central Library.
I love the Central Library. We are library geeks. My son likes the teen section and the graphic novel, and my daughter likes the section here, and we're homeschoolers, so we can come during the day.
We use technology as a tool to help people and find things faster, but the human beings, the librarians, are still relevant.
Well, and they're helping people make use of that technology. Librarians do have a master's degree in library science or library information studies, and we have about 450 librarians throughout the Los Angeles Public Library. One thing I can say about librarians is they make a dollar go a long way. The tax dollars that we receive to serve the good people of LA, we are very good stewards of those dollars and spend them very wisely. We also spend philanthropic dollars wisely as well. Dollars invested in the public library are dollars that are improving the overall health of the community. Physical health, economic health, and it is a better city because the city invests in its libraries. The Tapir Auditorium is an incredible space. Many people are no doubt familiar with the Great Aloud series that Louise Steinman curates, where we bring world-renowned authors to the Tapir, and people just love this entrance. So it's nice to be able to pass through these 1926 doors in our new edition. It's wonderful to be able to have this auditorium to complement the work that we do in the library.
There's not a bad seat in the house. Let there be light.
It's a very intimate setting. It's about 240 seats. This custom fabric that they had designed. Not sure if we would necessarily do that today, but with an image of the Central Library building itself. Really beautiful fabric and certainly unique to the building. We have author visits, cultural events, musical programs. The acoustics in here are fantastic. We've had citizenship ceremonies in this space.
John, I'm running a little low on fuel. I need an orange juice or something. The talent needs sugar. What is this? And they don't open. How come? It's a long lost art of the Dewey Decimal System.
So this is the historic card catalog for the library, and it's built into the wall here. And it remains. Of course, we don't use it as a card catalog anymore because our catalog is now online. You can be in Paris and search the Los Angeles Public Library's catalog. A number of years ago, our library took the opportunity to keep it and to use it to do donor recognitions. Individuals who've given money to the library are recognized here on the card catalog.
Tell us about Shakespeare.
First Folio is very well secured. This is a particularly spectacular exhibit with 125 or so items. Of course, the highlight of that is the item in front of us, the First Folio.
It was printed in 1623.
The first time Shakespeare's works were put together in a single volume. The Los Angeles Public Library has a Fourth Folio, which was printed in 1685.
That was late.
That's a new book. But the Fourth Folio is actually printed 50 years before George Washington was born.
Shakespeare was writing at a time when the language itself was in flux, and if you needed a new word, you by damn just made it up. Part of the reason people went to the theater was to hear the newest language and the newest kinds of words.
What is your favorite part about reading or experiencing William Shakespeare?
I get to teach him over and over again, and I find that it's limitless.
So the words don't change, but maybe you do?
Absolutely.
You'll see how Shakespeare permeates our language, our culture.
Is this intended to be touched?
There's even a plastic tub of Brussels sprouts that references Shakespeare in this exhibit.
He had an eye for, I think, moments of crisis, either in an individual's life or in the body politic, and he was drawn to that material, and that's one reason we keep turning to him, I think, because we keep recapitulating these same situations.
We are in the rare books room of the Central Library here in downtown Los Angeles. You are standing in front of a wonderful watercolor rendering, a cross-section of the entire Central Library that was actually done during the renovation and expansion of the library in the early 1990s. And I love that the renderer has been thoughtful enough to actually replicate the Dean Cornwell mural in the cross-section watercolor rendering.
A lady was an executive within the city of Los Angeles, and it looks like it was a while ago.
It was a while ago. This is Mary Foy. There's much debate as to what was in the bag that she's carrying. Some say fine money, others say a firearm. But she was one of the many talented city librarians here in the city.
Yeah, so I'm sorry to talk over you. I just get excited,
fine.
John. We are right now in the rare book room, and there's even more rare books than the ones that are in this room, and this is by appointment only.
Also, a wonderful collection that we have at the library is our autograph collection. And interestingly, it was started by Charles Fletcher Lummis. Welcome to the library.
Hello.
We're glad you're here. One of them that we're very proud of in 1935 is a poem that Langston Hughes wrote and sent to the library. And we have it right here. He wrote this with his own hand here in Los Angeles on June 19th, 1935.
Is it okay if I join you? We're doing a story about the Central Library, and I just want to act like I'm a little kid again. Carry on.
Youth, we have tomorrow bright before us like a flame. Yesterday, a night gone thing. A sundown name and dawn today. Broad arch above the road we came. We march. I love this. This is why we do what we do.
The future of Los Angeles.
Absolutely the future of Los Angeles. Part of being good stewards of these buildings and collections and resources and having such a talented staff is telling people what we do.
How do you spell Xochitl?
It's spelled X like X-ray, O-C-H-I-T-L.
Oh my God.
It's Aztec for flower, Xochitl oliva.
And what do you do here at the library?
So I am very fortunate. I am the Senior Librarian of Digitization and Special Collections. So I get to work under our Principal Librarian of Special Collections and Research to help oversee this amazing collection and the history of Los Angeles.
So how does one digitalize a book?
So we go through items here in our special collections and we evaluate them for their unique properties. The things that we're scanning right now currently are photographs and menus. So those are the things we focus on.
Are the menus here?
Yes.
Coconut Grove.
We have this amazing extensive collection and they come in various forms of disrepair.
That's kind of hard to do, the deciding which ones make it, which ones don't. I mean, do the menus get a little bit sad when they don't make it? They had salsa on them.
Well, salsa we can handle. And Stephen here, he basically...
Hi, Stephen.
He evaluates the items for their suitability for the collection. We're preserving the original for all time, and we're also creating a digital surrogate which can be accessed through our website.
So I'm going to get depressed about pricing now.
From 1957.
Okay, 1957, before I was born. May I touch it without putting too much oil on it? All right.
Well, dinners, like you can get braised short ribs, which are popular again now, for $1.70.
For a whole dinner.
Yeah. La Villa Tosco from West Hollywood.
1982, so a little more recent, huh? Do you ever get hungry, Stephen?
I get hungry all day long.
By the way, I didn't know Thrifty, who has ice cream that still exists, had coffee shops. Who knew?
I had no idea.
Cocktails served in the coffee shop. My job was at Baskin Robbins, my first one at 15. What was yours?
Well, my second job, I was a hostess at Denny's. You do learn a lot.
Yeah, like how to deal with people.
Yes. I believe that everybody in America should have to work in food service 1 year in their life, and we would all be such kinder, gentler patrons and customers.
That you are yourself becoming part of history by preserving it.
Well, it's true. I actually started coming to Central Library when I was in high school, and I studied theater, and I discovered the amazing collections here. And, you know, as an adult, to be somebody who gets to preserve the collections and offer them up to others, there's nothing more fulfilling than that.
And I love slaw. Welcome to the Library Foundation store.
The proceeds from the sales in the store benefit the Los Angeles Public Library. A lot of our products relate to Los Angeles. They're either made in LA or books about Los Angeles sites and destinations and
Hamlet.
educational and fun. And this is an ornament that from the California Bear. It's inspired by sheet music that's called I Love California. Everything kind of relates to the library, but we do it in a fun way. So we took the library logo,
Right.
which is this little book, and made polka dots. So this is an exclusive item that we only sell here in the store.
I'm here to buy some socks. What's your favorite part, Cynthia, of working here at the Foundation store?
Without a doubt, the folks that come in every day, different from all over the world.
All over the world. One of the great things about your store is it's unique. There's products here that you're probably not going to find in other places.
Correct. And then over here,
This is kids.
section.
This is for me.
Yes.
All right. I like your glasses. They're a little bit like mine. You're welcome. What did you get?
The toad and the harmonica.
Okay, guess what? I have a harmonica. Yeah, it's exciting. So what is it? What is the T-Rex's name? Okay.
Its name is Meat Eater.
Meat Eater? Hi, Meat Eater. I was going to call him Tommy T-Rex, but Meat Eater's, it's your T-Rex. Call it what you want. And come down and buy things at the Library Foundation store at the Central Library in downtown Los Angeles.
We're creating our customer base for next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Helping those young people we just saw come through the doors develop a lifelong love of learning, a love of reading. Not only the picture books and novels for young adults that we have in this space, but for ebooks and other resources we have online as well. We're creating the patrons of tomorrow.